Continuing our Dephemerember countdown, the ephemera series that my dear friend Louisa Hansel and I are hosting during December, we are stuffing Ephy today to make our crafting buddy come to life with the help of this freebie. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So if you've watched the video where I decorated the cover of this year's Dephemerember journal, you will have seen this freebie already. If not, you can find this linked below. So I'm going to choose one of these two cuties here to come to life. Originally, I had planned on using him. But what I like about this version is you see these pockets that he has on the side, and it looks like that would be very helpful because maybe I'm missing a craft tool or something and Ephy might have it on him. So I think I need to go with this version. I will be printing this again on fabric, and I'm super nervous about that because I've never done it and I'm always afraid that my printer is not going to be happy, but I'm just going to give it a try. Louisa gave me courage with her video where she made her fabric bowl. I will link both of Louisa and my Dephemerember 2023 playlist for you below so you can check out the videos that I'm talking about. And Louisa used double-sided tape to tape the fabric onto paper before she put it through her printer. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So I have this shopping bag that I found at a local craft store. I'm sure you can find these online as well. They are very cheap. Sometimes you get them from stores as well. And this is very thin linen. So this is what I want to use for printing my image. So I'm going to cut out a square from here. By the way, thank you so much for all your lovely comments on our previous Dephemerember countdown videos. We can see how much fun you're having already, and I love seeing your posts on social media. So keep posting the projects you make using our freebies. It's so fun to see what you all come up with. So I have a regular sheet of copy paper here, and I found this spray at my craft store. Retack Repositionable Mounting Spray, easy to use. It's acid free. And the directions say hold can at about 20 to 30 centimeters from the surface. Press the button firmly and spray a thin film on only one surface. Wait a few seconds until the adhesive becomes tacky. If necessary, spray twice for thick materials. After use, turn the spray can upside down and empty the spray nozzle. And this is suited for repeated mounting of materials such as stencils, paper, film, textile, acetate film, photo paper, layout paper, etc. So I'm going to give this a try. Maybe you can find something similar at your craft store, or just use double-sided tape like Louisa did in her video. I'm going to take this outside and spray. Okay, I'm back inside. I'm happy I did that outside because it does have a strong smell. It does seem to work really well. Oops. This seems to be really stuck down beautifully, but I made one mistake already. Since the image is here, I should have put my fabric on the edge here, because now if I would print it, he would be partly off of the fabric. So I'm going to trim this edge down and hope I can trick my printer into thinking this is still the full paper size. This whole project is very nerve-wracking for me, but I hope to learn something new, so I'm happy to do it. So this should be fine. The little edge here doesn't matter. So let's do this. So I have an Epson EcoTank ET5850 printer, which has 2 drawers, but I think it will be easier if I use the tray on the back there. So I have my Dephemerember freebie here. So we go to File, Print. And then here I go to Media Quality. By the way, I am working on a Mac, so if you have a Windows computer, this will obviously look a little bit differently. I change the quality here from normal to best, and I'll say feed from the rear tray. And then we say print. Do you see what happened? Obviously, I had the paper in the wrong direction. So my fabric starts here and ends here. So this Ephy is fully on the fabric, and this one here is unfortunately mostly on my paper. So since I don't want to waste this, I guess this is going to be my stuffed Ephy. And I'm just going to say he has a backpack on that I can't see right now, which has a whole lot of materials in there to help me when I get stuck. We're going to stay flexible. So let's see if we can peel this off, because it is repositionable. Ooh, yeah. So that works really well. If you can find a glue like that, I can highly recommend that for printing on fabric. So now I want to cut him out, but of course we also need a fabric for the back. And since we don't have a back side of Ephy, we're just going to use a different fabric for the back. I'm going to use this one. I want to stay with the blue. This is the closest thing I have, and this one is from Marsha D'Urso, and it's called Sea Glass from the Spotted Graffiti collection. Should we do the part with the spots? That might be cute. He has like this orange in here as well. So how about I use a part from here? So let me first cut this down. And then I'll cut the same shape out from this sea glass pattern. So then I'm going to put these back to back. And I'm going to pin them together with needles. Sorry, Ephy. We're going to say this is acupuncture. But I need to make sure that these stay together. By the way, I'm again linking my source for these beautiful fabrics down in the description box. And please note that Romy, the owner, is away from November 9th to the 30th. And in that time, there is no shipping because she is a one-woman show. So now I'm going to cut around Ephy. I'm going to leave a border because there are too many details here and we need some space for a seam as well. Maybe I should mention I have never done this before. I usually don't work with fabric at all. So this is going to be super interesting. If I can do it, then you can do it. Trust me. So I'm just going to leave a border of, what is this? Maybe 1/8 of an inch, something like that. And at the same time that I am posting this video, Louisa is of course also posting her video. And she is doing something a little bit differently. So I am curious to also see what she's doing. So be sure to check that one out as well. We can do that together after this video. Just trying to think how to do the bottom. Should I cut out this part here or should I just leave it flat? Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to leave it flat. I think that will make my life a bit easier when I'm stuffing him. So let's take these out. Oh yeah. And then we need to reverse both of these. Put them onto each other again. And this time I think I'll use some clamps. Obviously you could just use needles. And you can see I have not cut super precisely, but I don't think that's going to matter. Watch me really regret that. And then we need to sew around this, but of course we need to leave a part open on the bottom here. This is where I'm going to stuff Ephy from. So I'll just sew around it once here with a running stitch. Okay, I have to admit that was a lot more challenging than I anticipated. I realized that turning fabric is a lot more difficult than paper because obviously it's more flexible. So I had to lift the foot many times, especially around these tighter corners. And as you can see here, I had a mega fight with my sewing machine. I hope I won in the end. We will see once I turn it around. And I ended up going around it twice because I had the feeling that in some areas I was too far on the edge, like here for example, and I was just afraid that the stuffing would come through. So let's see how bad this really is. So we have to turn this around now. Oh my goodness, how is that going to work now? Ooh, maybe this opening is too small. Wow. What was I thinking? Is this how it's supposed to work? I guess this should be okay. Oh, there he is. He is a bit smaller than I thought. I have this letter opener that can help to shape it a little better. I think I should have cut a wider border from what I can see now. Yeah, his feet are a bit cut off. And so are his whiskers here. This is going to be a tiny Ephy. Not sure how happy I am with him, but we'll see. Maybe he'll look better once he's stuffed. So I recently found this filling material at my craft store, and this is what I'm going to use. You could probably even try regular cotton or some fabric scraps or some packaging materials. Look through what you already have before you go buy new stuff. So now I'm just going to, oh boy, my opening is not very big. Try and stuff this inside. So here he is. The back definitely looks a bit weird. I think his feet are not going to be very visible once I close him up. I guess I could stuff just a little bit more in here. Okay. Let's close him up. So I'm going to pinch these edges together so that they point towards the inside. I have some blue thread on my needle with 2 layers and I just knotted them together on the bottom. So I'll start like this so that we can hide the knot going from the middle to the outside, and then hopefully this knot will disappear. Can you tell how experienced I am? What is this stitch called? I don't know. I'll just close it. So I'll make tiny stitches all along. I guess there's no reason why you couldn't sew the whole thing by hand if you were so inclined. So at the end here, I'm just going to go around it a few more times. Maybe also put the thread through the loop, through itself. Just making sure this won't come undone. And you see we have this little opening here, but since I stitched it twice, I think it's not really going through. I think it's just opening until my second row of stitching. The question is, this might become more frayed with time. I kind of want to leave it because it totally works with the distressed junk journal style. I can always sew it later if I feel that it might actually come undone and the stuffing might come out. His feet are a bit cut off, so be sure to leave more of a border when you're cutting him out, as I mentioned earlier. And what I'm thinking of just now is what would have been really cute is to add like a cord or a piece of fabric or something to make a loop here, and you could just sew that in while you're sewing this shut. You could just sew that on as well. Then you could hang him up. That would be cute. Cute little guy. I started editing my video and I thought, I'm sorry, Ephy, but this just won't do. I can do better than this. So taking the experience I have now from doing it once, I'm going to try to do a better version. First of all, I have this second freebie where you see Ephy is mirrored. I've cut out a piece of that same fabric, which is now big enough for the whole printable to go on it. I'll cut these out, put them back to back, and cut a much wider border, I'm guessing about 1 centimeter, and try this whole thing again and see what that looks like. I just love this repositionable spray adhesive. So now I can put these on top of each other, and I need to make sure that these are lined up. Not the easiest thing to do. So I've pinned him together and I'm leaving a much wider border. Okay, hopefully my sewing machine will cooperate better this time. Oh, we need to turn him around. I did have another fight with my sewing machine and I still find these corners very difficult with fabric. And I again forgot to sew in the loop up here. The moment of truth. Oh no, this is coming apart because I forgot on the one side to go back to backstitch a little bit like I did here, and it looks like I need to do that because this is already coming apart. Okay, went over it a couple of times. This should be better. I'm so curious how much difference this made. Hard to say at this point, but I do like that he's double-sided and we can turn him which way we want. Let's stuff another Ephy. His feet are more visible now. I could have even left more seam here on the bottom. His hand is more visible. So are his whiskers. So if we compare the two, wow, one is definitely a lot bigger than the other. And I love that we can turn this one around. They're a cute couple like this. So I have two little helpers for Dephemerember. I'm just noticing he totally doesn't have a hand here at all. Poor little guy. So the next video in this Dephemerember countdown will be on November 20th when we share our prompt list. And in less than 3 weeks, we are starting with Dephemerember 2023. All three of us are super excited. I hope you are too. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.